What's up, everybody? This is your boy DC. We're on our third episode. That's right, third episode of Power Move. Right here in the month of Black History Month. That's right, February. You know, they give us a short month, but Black History Month is all throughout 365 days. But I have a very special guest on the other end. He's out of Jacksonville, Florida. He has a mobile detail business, and he started that thing with a 9-volt battery. You know what I'm saying? A 9-volt battery. Now he has a fleet. He has like trucks, he has trailers, you name it, generators, he got it. It's my homeboy from out of Daytona Beach, Florida, and he started this thing from the ground up, and we're going to get into how he made his power moves. And he's been in the industry now for over 30 years doing this thing. So furthermore, let me introduce you to my partner, Mr. Marcus Smith, aka Do Right International Car Wash and Detail.
Hey, how you doing, man?
Man, I can't call it, boy. Look at here. Like I just said, I just introduced it, and a lot of people need your service. You feel me? So, man, how did you get started? You know, I was just joking when I say, you started your business with a 9-volt battery, but I had to throw that out there because that's how we do it.
Yeah, right. Well,
so how
pretty much I wanted to learn how to drive, right? So when I was 9. I was tall enough to, reach the paddles. So my idea was if I wash the car, then they'll let me move it back and forth. So that's why I learned how to drive at like 9, moving the car back and forth. At 10, I was driving around the neighborhood, and I used to tell my mom like, hey, I need to get the water off. So I used to drive around the neighborhood, to get the water off. But I just learned how to drive. So that's pretty much that's why I started.
So that's why you would drive people cars by just riding around the neighborhood.
Yeah, that was my story.
Oh, okay. That's crazy. So after you did that, okay, was it hard to kind of like start the business? Because when you talking about car washing and you talking about pressure washing and using chemicals and stuff like that. Because you don't want to put the wrong solution on somebody's car and tear up their paint job, and they looking crazy. Right. So how did you say did you try it out on an old vehicle or how you did it?
Well, I'm gonna say I started with an old hood, and I tried different chemicals to see how it worked, like what worked best, and that's pretty much how I started. Now I'm trying to make my own chemicals. Right now I'm working on a car wash soap. So okay. I've been working on that like for the last 2 or 3 years. So I'm hoping to get that finished this year.
You ain't talking about no Clorox and no Ajax.
No.
Okay,
no. Yeah, I'm working on that.
Cause we'll mix that in a minute. We'll put a little Ajax and Comet and shake it up, and then put a little label on it and spray it. You know what I mean?
No, you're gonna scratch up somebody's car with that phone, man.
Yeah. So with the pressure washer, how do you know how much pressure to put, to use on somebody's car?
Well, most of them, like if you want a decent pressure washer, it's got to be like maybe 3,800 psi, which is strong, but it's not too strong. Like it's not really a commercial pressure washer. So you need one that's not going to knock off paint. But if you hold any of them close enough, you allowed to do some damage. So you got to know where to hold it at.
The distance.
The angle to hold it at. So you got to know, like 3,800 is a good one.
Yeah, because a lot of people go to Home Depot after this right here, watching this podcast and think that, everybody going to become a professional, pressure washer. And I know, without a doubt, myself, I own a pressure washer. And I'm scared to use it on my car, on my driveway, because I'm not experienced, and I know once I hit it with my car and it take that paint off, it's on me. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
I pay somebody who know what they doing to get my car right. You know what I mean? Because you can easily tear up a car, easily.
And that's what I'm here for.
Yeah. Now I know you don't work in a lot of cars. Tell me one of your experiences, one of your nastiest cars that you ever ran across, and you be like, no, I ain't doing this.
I'm gonna say I ain't never said that. But I've did them all. They just have to pay a little more.
Yeah.
Cause I had a guy who had a Mini Cooper. He had several cars. He had a Mini Cooper. He had left hamburger in it while he went on vacation for 2 weeks.
Wow.
So that Mini Cooper, I had to go get crime scene deodorizer to clean it out. I had to take out all the carpet, all the seats. I basically had to break the car down on the inside, pressure wash the seats, and let them dry. Then clean them again, and clean the whole interior of the car. That was pretty nasty.
Just for the hamburger? I mean, so what did it do? It just had a smell to it. I mean, what happened?
Well, the hamburger had been in there 2 weeks, so it had an awful smell. It was like dead meat.
Yeah. So did the sun cook it and the juice or something just stain the carpet? I mean, what happened?
Yeah, the sun cooked it. The smell, basically, gets into the headliners and the fabric in the seats, foam that's in the seat, and it was in there. So I had to pressure wash it to get it out.
Wow.
I mean, yeah, it had maggots in there. The maggots had died. They even turned to flies and died.
Oh wow! Because it was so hot in
So
there.
that one's a pretty nasty one.
Wow, that is nasty. You should have just took his keys and told him to walk home.
No, he left the car. He left the car with me. He dropped it off, left it with me, and I had the car a week.
Yeah, that's
trying to clean that out.
That's what I'm saying. Because that was that's pretty disgusting. So other than that, how many cars can you do a day?
It depends. Like a regular basic wash, I can do maybe 10 to 15 cars a day. But on like a full detail, I only take on maybe 4 full details a day. A full detail is you clean the engine, you shampoo in the interior, you buff it, wax it, whatever it needs to do. You do the trunk. You basically try to bring the car back to as showroom as possible.
Yeah. But if you can't get it like that, you just tell them some of that stuff is
they need to go get it painted.
Yeah. I was gonna say some of the stuff is like you can't even try to repair when it's that damaged. I know they call you Mr. Do Right or Do Right International. Right. Sometimes you're gonna be like Do Right can't do right on this one.
Well, yeah. I mean, if I can't fix it, I will let them know ahead of time.
Yeah. Do you ever get to the point if you feel that you need help because you got so many cars, or you just, I mean, how do you do it?
Oh yeah, I have a couple of guys that come and help me.
Yeah.
And I also have kids that help.
Yeah.
They learn the business too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the best way to do it. Now, say for example, I bought my car to you, and the sun is out, and then I get in, and all of a sudden it just started raining. Do I back it up and bring it back to you?
Well, I did when I had a shop. I had a 3-day policy, like rain check, where basically my 3-day policy was even if it didn't rain, you came back in 3 days, I do the outside for $5. But now being mobile, I don't really have a rain check for mobile.
Yeah, I was gonna say you can't really do that if you're mobile. Now, when you say you mobile, what all stuff do you bring with you? You know, generators, shampoo.
I have everything. I have a water tank. I have everything I need to do a job. I had a water tank, the pressure washer, generator, all my tools, all my equipment, all my chemicals.
Now, when you say, all right, I'm glad we talked about water, because I had somebody come pressure wash my house, right? So he pulled up with this big old tank on the back of his car, and he took my water hose, turned my water on, put it in his thing, and then he was using the water that was already in there. So, do you do that? Do you recycle other people's water?
Some people do. It depends on how big the job is, because I can show up with a tank full of water, but if I'm pressure washing the whole house, I might need to add water. And I usually discuss that with the customer before I even do the job, because I'm like, I have a 100-gallon tank, and then I have a 500-gallon tank. So sometimes I have to fill them up in different places.
Yeah.
It depends. Like I said, you talk to the customer about that, because that could be part of the pricing.
Right. Yeah, because they running your water and using their water, but at the end of the day, you got a water bill too.
Right.
And see,
And you can get pretty high.
Yeah, when I mention that to my wife, I'm like, I think I need a discount because this brother out here using my water. You know, and sometimes when your spigot not all the way on and the water just still dripping, that's just more water wasted. It ain't even going into the tub. It's just going on the ground. So I'm standing on the porch looking at my water just flowing down the driveway. So I want to know if you did that.
Right. Yeah, sometimes like I said, it depends on the job. If you need more water than you can hold in your tank, then yeah. And like I said, I usually discuss it with the customer before I even, like, that's in the
contract
before I even start. Yeah, in the job.
Oh, okay. So take me through a day of you getting prepared to do like 15 to 20 cars. What all do you do?
Well, first I go and make sure all my equipment working right, including the vehicle I'm using. So I go and check the oil, make sure I got gas. Then if I don't, I have to go to the gas station and fill up all the gas cans. So I can make sure I got everything I need. Like, I usually try to start with my generator full, the pressure washer full, and at least I have a tank in my vehicle.
Right. So when you say generator, what size generator do you have? Do you have a generator where you can just plug up like 2 or 3 20 amp circuit?
Yeah. It's I think the one I use is 4,500 watts, I think. So you can plug up like 3 to 4 different things, but I usually only use one plug at a time. Unless I got somebody working with me, then they can vacuum and I can be, vacuuming the other side or something like that. But usually I just use one plug at a time.
So when you say you mobile, are you just in the Jacksonville area? Do you travel outside of Jacksonville?
Oh, I travel. Yeah, I travel. If the money is right, I travel as far as I need to go.
Yeah.
Like, but most of my customers who are out of state or out of town, they bring them to me like once or twice a year.
So
to get like a full detail and wax and everything.
Have you ever did like car dealerships, like just like they're one of your clients and you just like take care of the whole front fleet of the car dealership?
Yeah, actually, I was riding down the highway one day and the guy called me. He had a small dealership. I think he had maybe 15 to 20 cars, and he called. And he was like, "Hey, I seen you riding down the highway, man. Your rig looks pretty clean. So I want to give you a call and see if you can come do my dealership." I was like, okay. So that right there let me know to make sure my vehicle clean, so that I can get business that way.
Yeah, because people pay attention. You can't, you can't pull up at nobody's establishment with a Fred Sanford truck. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then when you cut the truck off, the truck's still coughing and passing gas and all that smoke everywhere. And you cut to my establishment and you get out, you talk to me, your car to me, boom, 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 boom. I'm like, bro, I'm good. You know what I
mean? Right.
But
you can't say you walking cars, man. Your car dirty.
Yeah, but it is good that people do pay attention. You know what I'm saying? Especially, your industry. You know what people look for. So therefore, that's just like you going to the barbershop and you see the barber, his hair not even cut, but he's still cutting hair. Like, bro, you in your line. Matter of fact, whoever cut your line, telling them stop, because your line in the middle of your head. So that means if your line in the middle of your head, that means you're gonna push mine to the back of my head. So I pay attention to all of that. So it is true about detail, how you present yourself. That's how people see you. You know what I mean? So and it was a blessing that guy called you, and it's a blessing that day that your rig was clean, and he's like, "Yo, come do me." You know what I'm saying? And then he can tell other people. You feel me? That Do Right International is where to go.
Right. Because I tell people, a lot of our business is word of mouth.
Right. Right. Now, by you being in the industry, in your industry for I don't know how many years, what, over 10
Over
years?
30 years.
Over
Over
30
30
years.
years, man.
Over 30 years doing what you're doing. Um do you see yourself franchising out your business to other people that wants to do what you're doing?
Yeah, I do see that. I would train them. I would make sure they know all the ins and outs. Like over the years, I've learned shortcuts to make my job easier. If you get the right tools, your job will be way easier. Like I first when I first started doing interiors, I had the old brush and I scrubbed it with my hand. Now I use a like a drill bit with a brush on it, so it worked way faster than my hand do.
Right. And also, to another quick question, is there any advice that you can give, like, for example, a single mom, how that she can keep her car, clean to a minimum before she get it to you? Because if she get it to you too late, and she got kids, so she got candy, she got bubble gum, she got
Right,
leftover
right, right.
McDonald's fries all on the seat. Is there any advice that you can give her, like, hey, clean yourself up, put some wipes in your car? I mean, what kind of advice can you give her?
Yeah, I tell people all the time keep wipes in your car because you always accidents happen. Wipes and paper towels. But I usually say if you see something happen, you gotta try and clean it up as soon as possible because the longer you let it stay, the better the stain is. Like the worst thing for me is coffee because coffee, if you got cloth seats, coffee goes into the foam that's inside the seat. So I could come and clean it,
But
but
you
then when
still
it
got
start
that coffee.
drying, the coffee will come back up.
Yep.
So coffee is like one of the worst ones that stain carpets and seats.
Do you give like any discounts to like senior citizens and people that's a little older?
I usually do. I usually like it's usually like $5 off, but like some of my customers have I have a few doctors, surgeons or whatever, and I come to the office and if they have like 5 cars, I usually give them like $5 off each car. But you gotta have 5 cars or more.
Yeah, yeah. Cause then that way it'd be worth it. You know what I mean, for you
Right,
to give that.
right.
Moving forward, like these power moves that you've been making throughout 30 years. I mean, what was your hardest decision to make by moving forward in this industry? Because I know it's not easy when you're working for yourself, and then when you decide to say, "Hey, this is what I'm going to do." So, what was the hardest thing you had to do, and what you had to sacrifice to get to where you're at?
Man, the hardest thing is understanding that everybody that say they support you don't always support you. And your vision is your vision. So if somebody who you feel like should be supporting you doesn't, then you have to still keep going because it's your vision, not nobody else's. You know what you want. You know what you shooting to get. So
Right.
the hardest thing might be like you gotta learn to cut people off. I tell people all the time, if you're not helping me, I'm not gonna let you hurt me.
Yeah. Yeah. You're absolutely right. Well, so what was one of your major sacrifices?
I ain't gonna say I really had a major sacrifice. It might be not being able to spend all the time I needed with my kids, I guess. But then I started learning, hey, if you bring them with you, you can show them something, and y'all can still spend time together.
Yeah.
So right now we got a car show we gonna go to on Sunday. So I'm gonna take them with me to a car show, and we'll do a little advertising too.
Yeah. Yeah. Show them how to work, man. Show them that, hey, this too can be your future if you decide to go on this path. You know what I mean?
Right.
Whether you want to do this side of the business or you want to do the business side. Your dad laid out a foundation. It's up to you guys to keep it going. So I
Right.
take my hats off to you because it's a lot of kids. I know you and I had talked earlier before today that you used to work with youth, and you saw the troubled kids come in, and you try to help them to get on the right path, and then also some of the kids is just like there's no hope for them. I mean, let's talk about your experiences working with some of the kids.
Yeah, I used to work in juvenile justice, and I felt like the system it needs change because to me it started doing the same thing they do to adults. They just put you somewhere. They don't like try to help you get better. So I felt like I wanted to help kids get better. So I started coaching youth soccer and youth basketball. And I felt like I was making a change. Like some of the kids that I see now are grown, so they still like, hey, coach, hey, and they show you, they make you feel better about yourself because they say you made a change in them.
Yeah, that's good. What about that one kid that came in and made you change your mind and you're like, I'm good.
Yeah, man. Like when I first started working in juvenile justice, they used to bring the kids in at like 17, 18. But then when they start bringing kids in at 10 years old, I was like, yo, that's not. They even see it on TV now when they go to the schools and arresting kids who don't even understand the charges that you charging them with.
Right.
It's not okay for me.
Yeah. That's a whole nother subject that we can talk about.
Right.
But I just wanted to share that light because I know that you dealt with it, before you went full time, with your business. And by you having your business, it'll allow you to be able to see certain things and move a certain way. So since you've been doing this, what type of moves you've been making to make yourself, better?
Mainly it's getting out in the community and talking to people. To be able to talk to other people is different, man. Everybody can't do it.
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. It takes a certain type of, person to be able to communicate what you're trying to say. Because, these days, man, it's a different type of breed of people.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I say the pandemic got everybody with some kind of issue. So people are short. They more ready to be aggressive with you than they used to be.
Right. So on a day like how it is now, I don't know if it's overcast because I'm looking out your window.
Yeah, man, it's overcast. And then with that, my customers, most of them are either cancel, or whatever.
Yeah. So when you're down like this, what's your go-to?
Well, when I'm down like this, I might try Uber, or either I work on my soap because I'm trying to get my soap out in the next year or two because I like it's having that income come in and you're not really having to go out there and work for it. It's a lot.
Yeah. Well, man, it's always good to reach out to you, bro. I'm proud of you. Like you said, you've been doing it for 30 years and you're still doing it. You went from helping the youth to helping showing your own children, how a father's supposed to stand on his own. See, because ain't nobody gonna give it to you. You got to go get it, and that's
Right.
exactly what you're doing. So, man, my hat goes off to you. If anybody that's in the Jacksonville area and the surrounding area in Daytona
Hey,
Beach,
listen,
Orlando,
it's
anywhere,
serving North and Central Florida.
yes,
That's what I'm doing.
yes. So anybody in those areas, go ahead and shout out your social media so they'll know where to find you.
On Facebook is Mr. Do Right. I mean, it's Do Right International Detailing and Pressure Washing. Yeah, you got me saying it. Do Right International Detailing and Pressure Washing on Facebook, and it's Mr. Do Right 15 on Instagram.
Okay. So do we have, if anybody hits you up, do they have to have how much in advance do they have to to get on the books?
I usually say at least 2 days, but I mean it depends. Now, if it's an emergency and you need me, I'll try and make a way.
Well, that's what's up. Well, people, it was good to see my boy, Marcus down in Jacksonville doing his thing. And I know it's overcast right now, but the sun will shine. You feel me? The sun will shine, and he will be back out there, and you guys will be able to see him again. And then also too, you can catch him on all his social media platform all over the place. And man, I just want to say, hat goes off to you. You know, blessings to you and to your family. And this was great, bro. So let's do it
Same to you,
again.
man. Hey, I appreciate the introduction too.
Oh no, it's all good, man. It's all good. Hey, I had always told myself, I say if I ever get in a position to do anything, I want to reach back. You know, feel me? I want to reach back to
Yeah.
people who I know that genuinely that really supported me. You know, through all my craziness. You know, 'cause we did some crazy stuff back in the day.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey. Yeah.
So and I appreciate you, man. And I just want to tell you I love you, and keep going, man. And sky's the limit. So
You're right.
we're gonna sign off until the next one. This is a great conversation. Power moves number 3. So stay tuned for power move number 4. And I want to say peace out. Love you guys. Talk to you soon.